Home, brought to you by RE/MAX Diamond Realty.
We're back, everybody, and last week right here on House to Home, we talked about real estate reality check, and one thing we talked about is how much your pre-qualification amount can actually get you. Liz and Gina are here once again, and I want to start with Liz because we are talking about something that's interesting. When most people on Guam hear the word $250,000 or $250,000, it sounds like a whole lot of money, and for most people out here that is. But realistically, what can that get you in the market if you've got 250 grand to play around with?
Right now,
it might surprise some people, right?
Yes, right now at one time 250 could get you a fairly new home because contractors were building 1,200, 1,300, 1,400 square foot homes that were within that price range. Right now, the inventory in that price range for a new home is slim to nothing. What that price could probably buy you would be a home that's either distant, not within a central area. Also, it may require some repairs, or it's an older home that may be in very good condition, however, the age of the home. So the inventory on that, we need to prepare our buyers to know that you can't just go out there and find a brand new home for that price range. You're going to have to be prepared to find that a lot of those are either location and may need some repairs. So we can provide a list of properties that they could look at to actually review. It's kind of like prepping them with the expectations. They have to kind of look at their expectations and make some adjustments because, again, the newer homes are now priced well above $300,000 to $450,000 in that price range. And I know it sounds shocking for the community, but that's the reality right now. The construction costs have gone up. Contractors now are not building as many homes as they used to. They have an issue not having enough construction workers due to our visa issues.
Which drives the cost up.
Which drives the cost up. So I find a very good realtor, contact them, they'll provide you the list to go over the inventory. But as Gina mentioned in the previous episode, just because you have been pre-qualified for $250,000, what does that mean? What does that give you? You have to come up with closing costs. There are certain programs out there where the government is giving a grant, but that's only subject to availability of funds. And I know that all those funds may not always be there, and the government is trying to find ways to supplement those funds to continue that program going. But you definitely need funds out of pocket to fund your closing costs. And then, of course, when you look at your bank document, pay attention to that pre-qualification or that document that the bank gives you, because it'll break down what you qualify for, what your closing costs, what closing costs are required, because those are all out of pocket. And Gina may want to elaborate on how you can get some of those funds.
Gina, what is a ballpark in your experience amount that most people here qualify for? Because you're looking at, like people that have lived in homes before, they've rented for a number of years and now they're looking to buy, or you get like first time homeowners, young kids and everything. Because I would assume that 250 grand, they get all starry-eyed and everything like that. They're like, all right, I'm going to buy a place on Tumon. And then harrowing reality kind of like comes to them. It's like, okay, like Liz just said, there are a number of costs that you probably don't account for and everything. So that whittles that number down significantly.
I'll give you just like a ballpark. If your take home is approximately $2,000 to $2,200 a month, if that's what you're earning, and you have absolutely no bills, zero bills, which is who right now can say that, right? Then you qualify for about $100,000. $100,000 at $2,200 a month. So you need to be making $4,000 plus to qualify for maybe $200,000. And Liz just shared that there isn't inventory out there. I mean, it's really, really slim. So for those customers who call us and say, well, I want that price, the 250 in this location, if you're in that price range, it cannot be about the location. It has to be about the price range. be open-minded and let us show you where you could actually buy a home. It may not be the location you want, but you're going to be able to buy a home in that price range. And then the other thing that we really need to talk to people about is what Liz brought up. You can qualify for 100%, but you're going to have to pay out of pocket. So you got to make sure that you put aside something every month. The bank will check that to make sure you're prepared to buy.
You can't just be living check to check and all of a sudden you think you're going to have a couple $100,000 to play with.
No, because one of the things that
is that a common mistake people make?
Yes, it is.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately. And the other thing is, you know, what I notice is their car payments they have a very large car payment, $600 to $800 a month, and that really throws them out of the qualification range.
What kind of cars are people buying? $800 a month.
There's a lot of great cars out there, and they're expensive. And what people don't understand is all of your bills compounded together is going to affect what you qualify for in your house payment. So a lot of people make a lot of money every month, but the problem is their monthly bills take a good chunk of that away. So you really do need to prepare yourself to get into the real estate market.
Any accounting class will tell you it's not how much you make gross, it's how much you make net. You may have a ton of money coming in, but how much do you actually have going out?
That's right. That's right. It's where you're spending it or not spending it that's going to enable you to be able to buy real estate. When customers call me, this is what I share with them. I have customers that make a lot of money but haven't been able to save up yet because of the car payments, the child care payments and all that, and I tell them, I know you qualify for this amount, and that's a good amount. We can go out there and look, but if you haven't saved a dime yet towards preparing yourself to buy real estate, what I challenge you to do is, on your pre-qualification sheet, it'll tell you what your monthly payment's going to be, $1,500 a month, $1,800 a month, $1,000 a month. From now until you find a home, from now on, or at least for the next 6 months, put that money away in your savings account. And if you could do that comfortably for 6 months, then let's really get serious about looking for a house because you're ready. If it's a struggle, then you need to sit with me and figure out what you're going to need to do to change your lifestyle so that you can buy at the end of the year. Because maybe at the end of 6 months, you're not ready. Maybe it'll take a year. And I've had a lot of families where we've actually had to sit down and strategize. Okay, we qualify right now, but we're not ready. Maybe we'll be ready in a year.
Well, 6 months actually in the grand scheme of things is nothing. And remember,
very
everybody,
short.
Call Liz and Gina at RE/MAX Diamond Realty Guam. And remember, going back to eating ramen for just a few months, if you can get a house of your dreams, that's actually a pretty good strategy.
It's worth it.
All right, we'll see you next week.